one of us at the Cosmic Rewind media event. Standing on, like, we're leaning on that like cassette thing. It's such a baller picture. I love that picture. That picture's so good. And did you see Instagram fixed it? So like, even if we have 3 of us now, it looks better.
Yeah, it looks good.
Fixed it. I was glad.
Instagram's like, oh, we're gonna start creating video for our own format, like our own media platform.
They totally fixed it. All right. Hopefully get some people in here. Doing the middle of the afternoon on a Monday. Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday. People are probably busy.
Nobody does that anymore. Dude, that was like 1997 when people didn't have fast internet. Everybody works at home now and has faster internet at home. That was Cyber Monday's been going on since like September.
It feels like, wait, don't they like start like earlier and earlier and earlier? Like, yeah.
The thing is, the deals are just going to get better and better from now to Christmas. We just play the long game. Come on now.
There are some that don't, though, I will say.
But I procrastinate, so.
Yes, we know. You're a long-time procrastinator.
I used to not start, when I was a teacher, I'd start shopping once I got out for Christmas vacation. But now I don't know. We'll see. All right. Dig Dag. What's up, Dig Dag, over at Instagram? Thanks for joining us. All right. We need questions. Drop them in the comments. We do have a lot in the inbox, though, but we like them fresh. Like we like our bagels and our donuts.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 2807. Let's do this. We're going to squeeze in 2 shows. They're going to be good shows. 2 good shows for this week. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2807 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week here in December. Can you believe it? We are working our way up to the Christmas holiday, wrapping up 2025 already. Man, this year is flying by. We got a snowy season here in the Midwest. It's beautiful, actually. I'm kind of liking it because this time next week, I'll be in the Caribbean on a cruise ship, so it's all good. Pam, just back from, I won't be in the Caribbean. I'll be in the Bahamas. If I'm in the Caribbean, I got on the wrong boat.
Well,
but
whatever. They're the same area of the world.
Exactly. You know what? It's not the Midwest, and there won't be snow, so it's all good. It's all fine. Doesn't matter at that point once you're off the coast of Florida. So we're going to be having a good time answering your list of questions, and I just a duo here today. It's my good buddy, Pam Forrester, coder of the Magic for Less Travel. So glad she's back. We're going to have a great time hanging out today. Pam Forrester, what's going on? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I know, it's just us. We're back. We're doing all the things, and we had a good Thanksgiving. Mike, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. This year my birthday landed on Thanksgiving.
I saw your chocolate pie on the IG.
Again, shout out to my mother-in-law Elaine. She's a saint. She gets me the duo pies. I mean the twins. The twins, right? I mean, because we have the one that everybody, she puts it out there alongside the banana, because my father-in-law likes banana cream. I think is what I'm allergic to bananas, so I just stay away from that sucker, but he likes that. She takes care of everybody. Like my brother-in-law has his kind he likes. So there's like 4 or 5 pies, and chocolate is one that everybody has a chance at. But then mine stays in the fridge. Like that one is off limits for everybody. And that one, what that one works as, that's my Thursday night, Friday, Saturday. And it made it till like Sunday night. And then it was a goner because I eat too much, but it's so good. Yeah, she's an angel. I have a great mother-in-law, so thank you. Awesome. Good stuff. So how was your Thanksgiving?
Good. Yes. Did all the things we tried. So something different this year. Just put it out there. We like Costco always has these like smoked turkeys. So we got one of those, and then we got a regular turkey too. And people were a fan of the smoked turkey. And I imagine they sort of taste a lot like the turkey legs at Walt Disney World. A little hammy, a little smoky. But anyways, it was something different, and we had both kinds available. So, equal turkey opportunity. But like today's the day. FYI, we're recording this on a Monday. That like by now I'm like, yeah, I'm done with like everything that we had for Thanksgiving. I don't want to see it again.
Well, we are kind of in the danger zone today. You know,
yes, right?
Like today you can still eat leftovers, but you're pushing the envelope. You're taking a risk, but it is worth it. Like I had a dressing ball this morning for breakfast, you know, with my breakfast burrito. But I knew it was kind of pushing the limits, but you know, it's stovetop. So in there in the mix. So I was like, it's probably, you know, got a shelf life of 7 years. It's probably okay. So you know, it's worth it. Risk reward kind of thing. I'm not too scared of it. Now, one thing real quick before we leave the Thanksgiving holiday and move on to Christmas. One thing we didn't mention this whole Thanksgiving season was that the place up near you that I got to get to that has the Thanksgiving burrito. Is that
Gobbleritos?
Gobbleritos.
Yeah, Mad Max. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, they have the Gobblerito. You know it's famous. And so we did our own version of the Gobblerito with leftovers this year. So we tried it, and it seemed to work okay. I needed the bigger tortillas because so Mad Max, when they do a burrito, it sort of ends up being square because they like do that fancy fold. You know what I mean? It's like origami. Like I'm always like, I don't even understand what's happening here. How did we get to this point? But whatever.
Right, it's just all over my shirt. Like,
yes, exactly. But they must use the really big tortillas to get it in that position. And I didn't have those because I honestly forgot to buy them until right before Thanksgiving. So anyways, they ended up sort of being more Gobblerita quesadillas, but you know, it works.
It's all good. It all goes down the same. By the way,
exactly.
Shout out to our good friend Mohawk, who is watching us over in Scotland on the treadmill. So, I mean, we were just tearing him up right there, talking about Gobbleritos while he's
I bet.
putting in the miles. I mean, but I every morning I listen to podcasts on the treadmill as well, and it's always the same thing, you know, talking about food. So it just, you know, I think it burns twice the calories if you listen to, you know, food talk.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, because it's more painful. I figure, you know, more pain and just twice the calorie burn. So good job, Mohawk. You're killing it. All right, let's get into the questions. We have one here in the inbox says, kicking off a cruise right. I like a question like that, you know? I mean, who wants to kick off a cruise the wrong way? So here we go. Hey, Be Our Guest podcast crew. We're going on a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise on the Treasure in early December. My boyfriend and I, early 30s, are looking forward to lots of time with family and friends on the ship. But the night before embarkation, it'll just be the two of us. How would you choose to spend the evening before a cruise with your significant other? We're staying at the Yacht Club. Thanks to Mike for booking all of the above and to all of you for contributing to such a great podcast. Hannah L. in South Dakota. Okay, a couple things. First of all, thank you to Hannah for supporting our small business and the podcast. You guys are awesome. So thank you so much for that. And how awesome is it to get to go to the Eastern Caribbean and leave South Dakota in December?
Yeah, that's right.
I was supposed to leave in Missouri, but oh my gosh, they picked the right time to leave South Dakota. I could imagine it's got to be 10 times worse than this. That's perfect.
Huge plus.
And staying at the Yacht Club. She nailed it though. Like there's a few places you got to stay before a cruise, like Caribbean Beach. Check. Thematic. Polynesian. Check. The Yacht Club. It's nautical.
Yes, it's naughty, as they say.
I mean, what? Hannah's on the theme here. She's got it. She's figured it out already. I don't know if she did intentionally, but she did. No, what would you do though with your significant? Because they're going to be like a lot of family and friend stuff, but I mean, just the two of them, as Grover Washington said back in the day.
Yeah, right. I think I'd be looking at a good meal somewhere. You know, just the two of them. And at the Yacht Club, you have a few great options from which to choose. Right. I'd be looking at either Ale and Compass. If you want to spend a little bit more money, you have Yachtsman Steakhouse. If you want to go somewhere in between, you have the Cake Bake Shop that you can walk to over at the boardwalk. But I think I'd be sort of looking at either, you know, a just sort of a nice sort of quiet evening. I'd sort of look and see what kind of recreation the resort has. If they don't have anything in the evening, I may be looking at the boardwalk. They have that boardwalk entertainment. There's like juggling, magicians, all kinds of things. The cake bake shop, even if you aren't going to go there for dinner, I would consider going there for drinks because they have some fantastic drinks and it's such a beautiful bar. So that's something I may want to do. If you don't want to do that, Ale and Compass has a great lounge and Abracadabra is in there. So I'd sort of like mix and match my way sort of through that, maybe spend some time just, doing a lounge, getting something to eat, just enjoying the ambiance. And, it's never bad to have a night swim. I mean,
Yes. I mean, yeah, because you got Silver Long Bay. I mean,
right.
Yeah,
you got to use it.
And the hot tub there is awesome too. I mean, if it's cool, because the Treasure's going to have hot tubs, but the hot tubs are smaller on the cruise ships than obviously pools at the at the hotels.
The pool's a little smaller too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not bad, but yeah, Silver Long Bay, it's about the size of
small village.
Exactly, it's gigantic. Take advantage of it while you're there. But what and also kind of a hidden place that I kind of like if you're staying at Yacht Beach Boardwalk, Swan or Dolphin, Rosa Mexicana. I liked that place.
Oh, yeah.
It was a different Mexican food experience. Like it was, I don't know, like it was unlike any other Mexican restaurant I've been to. It was super good, but different options. So if you want to try something like if you like Mexican food, but it's a little bit different, Rosa Mexicana it's either in the Swan or the Dolphin. I get them. I can't remember if I go left or right when I go in there.
They're basically the same. So
one of those. So you can go there, but I'm a big fan of like to go to dinner, do just like a couple's walk around the three resorts, the Crescent Lake walk, just to walk it off. Because like on a nice December night, if it's like a 70-degree night, like I say, enjoy the boardwalk entertainment. Maybe there's a stilt walker. Maybe somebody's getting sawed in half. I don't know. Maybe somebody's doing something with hula hoops. Somebody's juggling fire. I don't know. Like you'll get to see that stuff in South Dakota. I will see it in Missouri. I mean, often.
Right.
I mean, every once in a while by Target, like in the median, like somebody's begging for money. They might be juggling fire. Very rare, but it happens. No, it doesn't very happen, but that's a joke. It'd be cool if it did. So anyway, yes, have a great cruise. Can't wait to hear about it. Hopefully we talk about it on the show. Have a good time, Hannah. All right, next question. Let's see here. Disney Cruise Line. Let's see here. It says, it's from Melissa. I'm looking to book my first Disney cruise for next summer. We're traveling with 6 adults. Do we need to get 3 staterooms? We don't mind sharing space, but don't want anyone to have to sleep somewhere uncomfortable. I know some cruise lines have bunk beds that come out of the ceiling and no one wants to sleep in that type of setting. Also, can you do connecting rooms? Thanks, Missy. So 6. Okay, so we have 6 adults and they're talking about accommodations. So let's just talk about the accommodations in general, Pam. Let's kind of start there.
So there are, and when you have any more than 2 guests, you could be placed in any numerous kinds of bed configurations. There are ways that we sort of look and see, like when a bed sort of comes down from the ceiling, they usually refer to that as sort of a berth, and that's something that happens. It's crazy because on some cruise lines, when you're in an inside stateroom, you could be in an inside stateroom and have 2 berths that come down from the ceiling. Disney Cruise Line does not do that, but that is a possibility.
I love watching Love Boat when like people like walk into their stateroom and they meet their cabin mate. Like that'd be baller. Like, hey, I'm sharing this stateroom with you. Like that's
right.
That's so funny. That'd be a guaranteed rate for sure. They're guaranteed restricted.
Guaranteed wild, especially on the Love Boat. So the thing is, Disney Cruise Line does have berths that come down. They also have a sort of couch that sort of converts into a bed as well. And I understand, like, you don't really, care about sharing, spaces. But the issue is that if you're going to have more than 3 people in a stateroom, then you're almost always going to have a berth that someone's going to be sleeping in, unless you look at maybe a family stateroom where you can sometimes have a pull down bed. But again, then that would be 4 people in one, and another. and then you'd have the 2 people in the other one. And then the issue for me, more than where I'm sleeping, is going to be the bathrooms.
That's what I was going to say. I mean,
bingo.
Yes. I mean, it becomes like, even with my situation with 4 adults and 3, adult or 3 adult women, right?
Right.
I end up going up to the rainforest room to take my shower because I'm never getting in. Like,
right. You're not going to have a chance.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, I know. So I think that's usually the bigger thing for most people. And while Disney is good about having split bathrooms, which I think does happen, does help the situation, right? I think in the end, they're still small. I mean, we're on a cruise ship. These are small bathrooms. You're in small quarters. And I think everyone would just be more comfortable if they did have their own space. Look and see how much difference there is, and if there is sort of a stateroom configuration that will work so that each of you has your own space for sure. And there just aren't. People sometimes will come to us with a larger party and say, well, how about a suite? And it's like, yeah, they really aren't set up, first of all, to save money. Because if you're in one of the big suites, it's going to cost you way more than 3 individual staterooms. So that's something, to do that. And you absolutely can do connecting staterooms. They have staterooms that connect. You may not get all 3, but as long as you're near each other, I think you'll be more than fine. What do you think?
Yeah, somebody, I look at it as an advisor. I would do the 3 pairs. I would do 3 staterooms connected, and you'll probably get 2 of the 3 connecting, 1 adjacent. And you'll be fine, and pick the 2 that are probably maybe have the kids together. Or, well, there's 6 adults. It doesn't matter who it is. Just, you can have the door up between the 2 and kind of, jump in between. Like we've done that with Scott's family. We've had connecting staterooms, just leave the door open in the middle. This is when Mallory and Emily were younger. They would just jump between the 2 staterooms because it was basically like a slumber party for a week, right? One night they would sleep in our stateroom. One night they'd sleep in their stateroom. And it was fun for them. But yeah, the bathroom situation is kind of the way to go. I think just with 6 adults, it's easier to have 3 staterooms, 3 bathrooms, and people aren't on top of each other. That way you can kind of retreat back to your own space. But, I do have guests who book 5 adults into 1 stateroom and they have fine, because the thing is, sometimes it's a shorter cruise and you're going to go and not be in your stateroom a whole lot. You're going to maybe be more port intensive and be doing a lot of stuff and not be in your stateroom a whole lot. It just depends what your goals are for the cruise. But for me, I would probably do the 3 doubles.
That's where I'm at too.
All right, let's see here. We got another question here from, I was just emailing with this guest over at the Magic for Less. She was talking about her cruise. And she was actually talking about this trip. Cindy, I believe she's down in Tennessee. Hello, everyone. I'm headed down to Walt Disney World January 8th to the 13th to run the half marathon during 2026 marathon weekend. I haven't been to the Magic Kingdom since the Starlight Parade started. When I looked at the park calendar, the parade is not listed after December 31st. There also wasn't anything listed on the Starlight Parade page about a refurbishment. Do you know why it wouldn't be listed? Thanks for helping me book all my trips. Cindy down in Franklin, Tennessee. I guessed it correctly. She's right outside of Nashville. Actually, I saw her at the airport one time. We were both flying home together. This came in a week ago. It was just that the stuff, I'm sure it's going to be going on in January, right?
I would think. We haven't gotten any indication that it's not. And typically what happens is they just don't have the schedule that far out yet. And that could be for a number of different reasons. Sometimes they sort of look to see how many reservations that they have, right? So they can determine, the operating hours of the parks then, and then that sort of dictates the time of that. Sometimes they're looking to put other things into place to see when that's going to happen, but I wouldn't worry about it. We haven't heard anything yet, and I can't imagine that it's not going to be happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine it'll be happening during marathon weekend because there's no reason it wouldn't.
Right. We haven't gotten any indicator that it's not going to. Watch then
it's been canceled, but yeah.
Yeah.
If you're an SEC football fan, which you don't know about all the drama that's happened the past 72 hours with football, but but if you know, it's crazy with this football coach at Ole Miss and LSU. Oh my gosh. It's the greatest soap opera ever. It's glad it's not my football coach because I'd be losing my stuff. Anyway, okay, back to this. Jennifer's got a question. Says urgent, not. You're in. See, you're playing the game. Here we go. Hey, Mike, Scott, Pam, and or Ricky. And she left the T off Scott. Makes him sound like he's Scottish or something. Looking way ahead to booking a family trip. Our daughter plans on taking a week and pulling her son out of school to go during a less crowded time. We usually book a 2-bedroom villa and go down with them. Our son is also planning to go so we can all be there together. However, he's a high school teacher and can't take off during the school year. He's thinking of bringing his family down for a long weekend while we're there. Our questions are: 1, if Lisa's family is on our villa park ticket reservation, can they get the dining package without Len or I being on it? Same thing for multi-pass tickets. Okay, let's stop there. She has 2 questions. So Pam, so if her family is on their villa park ticket reservation, can they get the dining package without Len and I being on it? Same for the park multi-pass tickets. So the way I'm reading it is, okay, so if it's a package,
yes,
that works. Everybody on the package must have the same package components, which are tickets and
yes, right. Everyone must have the same tickets, including length of tickets. And if one person gets a dining plan, everyone must have the dining plan.
Yep, that's
how packages work. The other way to do it would be, you can't do it. I mean, even if you went to a room only reservation, the issue is going to be you have to have it for your length of stay. So that's going to be the kicker for all of that in terms of the dining plan.
Yeah,
right. You can't have it for just a partial part of it. So they may be better off just being at a different resort or a different room, but getting the dining plan for just their length of stay and not your length of stay.
And the second question is, Matthew's family will have to book their resort and park tickets separately for their weekend trip. When we make ADRs, can we book for all 9 of us at our 60-day point, even though Matthew will be on a different reservation and arriving later? If not, can he book at his 60-day point and ask to be seated with us? Thanks, Jen in Maryland. Another couple of my great guests at the Magic for Less, by the way. So Pam, talk about those ADRs. Can she go ahead and book all 9 of them at 60, or?
You absolutely can. You're allowed to make advanced dining reservations for the number of party that you choose. The only thing is, I always advise guests, if they're doing even, a party of 6 or more, sometimes you're going to find more availability if you split into 2 parties. And then you can ask when you get to the restaurant if they can sit you at the same table or close together. The challenge with that is that even if you were booked as one party, sometimes they split you up too. Like if you have a larger party and you booked it for 8, you may arrive at the restaurant and they may tell you that you're sitting in 2 parties of 4. It's a weird thing, Before, I think that Disney, this was years and years ago, Disney was much more, they made it easier for larger parties, don't you think? Like, it just seems like in the past, I don't know, 5 years or so, it has become a little challenging in making reservations for a larger party. Most of the time when you get to the restaurant, it works out well, but every now and then it just becomes like a little bit of a challenge. So just check and see if, you see different availability if you split into 2 parties and go from there.
I think what I see with that is, and again, I think this is just how it is with any industry and really any kind of, or especially service industries, right? It's the experience of the person who's working in the role. Is if you get an experienced person at the podium, an experienced person who's in charge of seating, they're going to try to find a solution to trying to get 17 people, maybe not at the same table, but at 2 tables adjacent to each other. Where if you get a rookie there that's maybe in that position that's been there a week or so, and it's busy, and people, it just feels like there's like an inertia in that restaurant at the time, and things are getting away from that cast member. I get it, like you're thrown into that position, and it's stressful, and experience is the best teacher. So a lot of times I get it, like you could end up maybe far apart in two different tables, but you just got to kind of cross your fingers and hope you get somebody with experience that is a problem solver, that's been there, done that. And that's what I see a lot of times, that that's exactly what we see every day as like travel agents, right? You call in and you hear a friendly voice that and you're like, oh, thank God, because this is going to be a complex problem to solve. Like when you got you got a lot of variables with this booking, and you get somebody that you're like,
yeah,
oh, thank you, because sometimes you get somebody you've never heard before, and you're like, they probably know their stuff, but experience is the best teacher with everything, and it's just the way it is, I think, and you just got to have patience.
It is. And what's so funny is I have a friend whose daughter works for Disney, and she was talking with her recently and actually said, do you think that Pam would let me come and talk to the agents, because I work at a restaurant and we have so many people coming up that says my travel agent told me to ask if we could be seated together when we get to the restaurant. And she's like, and sometimes we don't have control over that. And I thought, well, this is Disney's solution to this. So we can't do anything about that. Like, even when sometimes we're calling to make dining reservations for a guest, because like, let's say it's a larger party or a more complicated situation or whatnot, this is Disney's solution. It's not like we're sitting here and our office is making this up. It is a Disney solution. And it's just sort of a challenging process at different times. So anyway.
With Disney, I'll be honest, we do the best we can for our guests, but a lot of times we're just doing the same thing. We're just crossing our fingers and praying for, just like you. Yes. I mean, we sweet talk the cast members on our end just as much. We tell Frankie, it's a great guest, celebrating. They're celebrating. This is such a special trip. I do this all the time, man. I put more butter on my reservations than Butterball. I'm like the eternal person on Thanksgiving morning, buttering that bird. I butter my reservations so much. Everybody should be getting, like room upgrades. I swear. It's a really special trip. They're like, Mike, really? Everybody's going? Yes. I mean, you're going to Walt Disney World. It's a special trip for real.
For real.
I mean, come on. What you're going to Disney. What do you want? Oh, speaking of Mohawk, he has a listener question. All right, we got one. Here we go. It's Graham. He also goes by Mohawk, by the way. He says, I hope you and the BOGP crew are well. My question for you and Pam is simple. Oh, he called you out.
I'm here. Available for question answering today.
Right. Yeah. He says, how would you recommend we afford a trip to Walt Disney World every year from the UK? Can you suggest any legitimate strategies such as saving plans, travel hacking, and other financial trips? Let's see. Thanks for your input. Best regards, Graham, who goes by Mohawk. So and I know we talk about this actually in the clubhouse a lot. Cody has like those credit card hacking tips, with like sign up for a card, getting all the bonus points, using it for a little bit, getting a new card, and getting all the travel. I try to follow it. It's too confusing for me. I would end up with all kinds of fees and stuff because
you would have 35 credit cards.
Exactly. It just makes me way too nervous. But if you're if you're like that type of person that can stay on it, I can see where you could probably fly for free forever. If you are that type of person, I'm not, so I don't get into it. That's why I don't gamble or anything like that. I just know my limits. I don't touch it. But like, what are some good strategies? I mean, I get my biggest thing is just budget, and I'm just very aware of. I don't do certain things so that I can go to Disney. I try to just be disciplined and not spend on some things so I can kind of put it towards my trips.
Yeah, I agree. I think, one of the things we use, especially being here in Pennsylvania, is, and I know this is something that happens not just here, but probably in other parts of the world, is when we buy gift cards at our local grocery store, we actually get points that can be used toward the cost of our gas. And it sort of ends up to the point where we don't really pay for gas. And you may have that in the UK, you may not, but even if you don't, I wonder if like the Target or whether you have like a Costco or Sam's Club where you can get Disney gift cards at a lesser rate there. I know in the US, when you have the Target card, of course, you can always get Disney gift cards at a lower rate. So that's something to think of. I think the other thing too is, and it's funny because we were just talking with Hannah about this because she just bought a house and she wants to, build a deck on this house. And so at one point after she had moved this summer into it. So at some point, I'm like, Han, you have to start thinking about this deck. You know what I mean? You have to start thinking about this because every time we'd go over there to help her with something, there were like 35 Amazon purchases. And we all know when we move into a house, we want everything to be perfect, right? Yeah. So at some point, we're like, okay, have you talked to someone about how much the deck is going to cost? No, I haven't. Have you talked about what you want to have? Oh, I know I want to have a roof on this deck. I'm like, okay, good.
Oh, Lord.
So she has the deck people come over, right?
She wants like a house extension.
Right? So the deck is a certain price. And for double that price, she can get a roof on it. And she's like, Mom, it's like double the price. I'm like, yes. The lumber, the shingles, the electricity.
It's called the Four Seasons roof at that point.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I'm like, she's like, okay, well, I don't think I need the roof anymore. Yes, you're right. You probably don't. But how much is that? And when do you want to build it? Like, when do you want them to start building? Okay, divide by the number of paychecks you're going to get between now and then. And of course, it's such a simple strategy. But I think doing it when you have a goal, there's something psychological about that. Even if you're like, yeah, I know, I'm saving for my vacation. When you know what you're saving for, and your pen to paper or Excel sheet, mouse to Excel sheet, whatever you're doing to do it, I think that there's a real psychological thing that helps you save for that. And I know if you're anything like my family, there's a lot of stuff I'm willing to give up at home to make sure that I get to take the vacations that I want to take. So hopefully that helps a little bit, and I think the other thing is too, some of your biggest expenditures, of course, are going to be your hotel and your tickets and your dining. So when you consider some of that, I think you want to compare different things. And I'm not always a fan of saying the cheapest is the best. I think you need to look at where you're going to get the best value for you and your family, because that's different for each family. So consider all those things.
I agree. Well said. And I will say over in the clubhouse that, because I've seen Graham talk about how he goes about, because the airfare is expensive to get over from the UK to the States and so forth. But what I've noticed, because he gets into it with Cody and a couple of others because we have that Travel Hacks channel in the Discord, and they almost gamify it because he's always on top of it and trying to use his travel miles to maybe get a business class or, better usage of those points at a better time to maximize the points and so forth, get switches flights. And I think a lot of times if you gamify it, like you say, like, I'm going to really squeeze this budget and see how much value I can get out of, my travel miles or my hotel points, or, if you're going to, I'm talking general travel.
Right.
I think when you try to gamify something to really see what you can do with it, that kind of makes it more fun rather than just like, oh, I have a budget, try to really challenge yourself. I'm going to stay on budget, make it a challenge.
Right. Agreed.
All right. Last question of the day. Paul's got it. The good friend Paul out in New Jersey. Well, he says it's urgent. So here we go. Well, urgent for those contemplating booking a cruise for this time of year. I've never done a Disney cruise, but I've done Royal. Please, what's 3 areas where Disney is better than Royal? Also, for a first-time Disney cruiser, how many days and what ship would you recommend going on first? Thanks so much for everything. Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year to all. Paul from New Jersey. So I've been on Royal and I've been on Disney. And here's the thing. I have nothing like bad to say about Royal Caribbean either, because I'm a Disney cruise line guy. Obviously I enjoy it. That's what I sell. That's what I cruise most of the time. And I've been on Royal and I've had a good time on Royal too. I think the cruise lines especially just kind of have something for everybody. It's just, there's different things, and Royal is going to be at least a less expensive option. A lot of times with Disney cruise lines can go different places. They definitely have a bigger library of ships, bigger ships. Those ships are I mean, you've been on them, Pam. You could talk about those well more than I could. Back in the day, I was on the biggest one, and it's not even that big anymore. But what would you go and say? I mean, I would obviously the Disney difference is on the Disney Cruise Line. I mean, you got the Disney Entertainment, the Disney IP is a selling point of Disney Cruise Line. What would you go with?
I think that a Disney cruise feel is a more luxury cruise experience. When you are sailing a Disney cruise line, there is something about it that really feels very luxurious. And I don't mean that in a you're paying for a luxury vacation kind of way. I think what it is it is those little attention to details that I think really work for people. If you're sailing from some of their home terminals, like, at Port Canaveral or at Fort Lauderdale, I think that sort of vacation experience starts sort of the moment you step into that terminal, right? With the details, the customer service experience, whatnot. But I also think it happens again when you step onto the ship and you sort of see that grand atrium. Like, that's a wow moment. And it feels very luxurious. And I don't mean in a way that's like uncomfortable or stuffy or whatnot. You just feel as if you're being taken care of. And again, you're going to have another moment when you step into your stateroom. Those, Mike, you can attest to this, the sheets and the bed on a Disney cruise line.
So good. I'm still looking forward to some good sleep. I mean, I hate to say it, like, what are you looking forward to on your cruise? Right? Good sleep.
Good sleep, but you do. Disney gets fret sheets and fret towels. And if you don't know that brand, look it up.
Means, but bring it on. Yeah, exactly.
Look it up and you'll see about what Disney's paying for your sheets and towels. It feels really good to be on that ship. And I think there's just something about the rooms. There is an attention to detail. There is a thoughtfulness in the way that things are laid out. It is just that kind of experience that you just walk away from that feeling like, dang, that was like money well spent on that. I didn't really sort of have a care in the world. I ate well, I slept well, I bathed well, I toweled off well. I saw fantastic shows that are done in a way that only Disney can do, I think, that really have that appeal. You see the Disney characters around almost every corner. There is something about a Disney cruise. And then when you get to experience the private islands, they are not going to be similar to a Coco Cay experience. And Royal Caribbean has a fantastic private island. It's filled with so many things to do. But dang, once again, there is something about those Disney Cruise Line private islands that I think is worth experiencing. It has sort of a way of taking sort of a natural experience and melding it with a really sort of Disney and curated experience that I think is worth it. I don't know, what's your favorite thing about a Disney cruise, Mike, that you feel like you can't get on other cruise lines?
You kind of nailed it. I mean, it's the islands, both Lookout and Castaway, amazing because they're just right. They're not overrun with people. They're just the right amount of people, even if you're on the larger ships. And you try to describe the luxurious feel of a Disney cruise line. It's almost like opulent. It's timeless. The ships do feel classic, even especially like the Magic, and well, they all do though. They have this, they're kind of nostalgic but they have all the modern conveniences on the ships too at the same time. With funnel vision, you can watch a movie at 11 o'clock at night on the top deck, the latest movie up there while the wind's blowing through your hair as you're out at sea, which is so cool, and you can walk 100 yards and 100 feet and get an ice cream cone or a slab of, piece of pizza. It's the coolest thing. But you can go to the Walt Disney Theater and see an amazing live theatrical production at sea with great performers, and the adult entertainment is amazing, which, I mean, all these other cruise lines have stuff like that too, but if you're a Disney fan, you get the familiar stories that which I think is pretty cool. And to me, it's comfortable. The way I describe it to my guests that are Disney fans that have gone to the world many times, but have never been on a Disney cruise, I kind of explain it like this. It's almost like staying at a deluxe hotel, having signature dining every night, and going and seeing, shows every night if you want to. And every day you wake up at a different destination to go out and have a good time. And if you're not at a destination that day, you're at sea, and you can have all these small little adventures on the ship, whether it's to watch a diaper dash or to go to the spa for the day or to just hang out at the pool or, play trivia and hopefully win, or to make, bake a potato into a race car with your family, goofy stuff like that. But the whole time you're making memories and you're having a great time, stuff you can't do on land. It's such a variety pack all in one thing. So much fun.
It is. And the cast, we can't say enough good things about the cast members that you get to interact with. They really do become sort of part of more than just part of your cruise experience.
Want to bring it home.
Yes, exactly. Right. You do. And if you're used to sailing on some of the bigger royal ships, then I'd definitely look at the Triton class. When considering that, I think that it will just offer a little more for you to experience in that, for sure.
All right, so we're going to wrap this one up. We thank you for the great questions. Please send those in for next week's show. Send those to Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. Just put listener question in the header there. You can put your level of urgency, and we'll play that game as long as you guys want to play it. So let's keep it going. Again, Mike at beourguestpodcast.com for any questions you have, and you'll be featured here on the show. Friday, we're going to talk about Pam's recent trip. We talked about the Destiny cruise last Friday. This time, we're going to talk about all her fun at Walt Disney World. She got to do all the holiday happenings. So if you're headed down there this holiday season, get ready for that. Now, don't forget, we're helping our guests, and that includes you. You're a guest. You're listening to the show today. Come on over. We're going to help you over at the Magic for Less. Get to your favorite Disney destination, whether that is Walt Disney World, headed out to the West Coast to Disneyland, where they're celebrating 70 magical years out there, or sailing with the Disney Cruise Line. Got lots of ships and lots of fun to have out there. We're going to help you have a great time on that trip. And the best part, no additional cost to you. It's like Cyber Monday. It's like Black Friday. It's all those things 365 days a year. It's the best deal ever. I mean, you can't beat it. So come on over, check out all the details right now over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That helps us out every day of the year. Thank you for that. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. $5 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, especially the cup of coffee that my daughter gets. It's ridiculous. For that, you support the show. You keep us on the air. We appreciate that so much. When you do that, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Thanks to everybody who does that already. You guys are awesome. You can follow us on the social media at beourguestmike. I'm on Instagram, x.com, and Threads. Pam's at TMFLTPam. And don't forget, join us in the clubhouse. That's our Discord server. It's our live message boards and live chat. It's so much fun. We all hang out there. Come on over. Your invitation's waiting at beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. No live show this Sunday night because I will be on the Disney Destiny, but we'll have one the next week. So don't fret. We'll have a good time with that. So come on back on Friday. We're going to have a great show for you. Pam and I'll be here. We'll be waiting for you. So until then, for Pam, I'm Mike. So have a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
Yay.
PISOTE 2807.
All right. Sorry, I had a quick email I just sent. I'm looking at what I did when I was there. I love seeing people post like that they wake up and their resort got decorated overnight. Isn't that fun?
That is fun. Pam put up my tree for me Saturday night, so that was fun.
There you go.
Because I'm terrible at it. She yells at me, "You got too many ornaments in the same part of the tree. I'm like, well, just
I saw this meme and it was basically this woman who was like, this is my husband. I love him so much and would kill for him. But if he keeps those 2 ornaments that are the same next to each other.
I showed it to Pam last night. Was it the one that said he will meet God or something?
Yes.
I was like,
Yep.
It said if he puts 2 ornaments in the same spot, he will meet the Lord Jesus or something by tomorrow.
That's 100% it.
I was like, Pam, this is you. I was like, like we were doing because we have this one right here. Like there's one over in the living room, like in the basement, because it's the only thing that I'm allowed to put my ornaments on because nobody sees them but me. And so, but I mean, like even with these dorky ornaments that I put on it, like I was hanging them and nobody sees them but me. But I had like 3 in the, too close to each other. She's going behind me and moving them. I'm like, seriously. That was totally it. Yeah, I left out the robbing banks because I wasn't sure where you were going with that. In his question, he was asking about like what strategies do you have besides robbing banks, but I wasn't sure where it was going, so I skipped that part. Sorry, Mohawk.
It could be a legitimate strategy, though.
I should have known it was from you. It was safe, but I've been set up before, and I didn't want to have to edit. I'm in a dire hurry today. I'm trying to do 3 shows, and I got a bunch of work to do, and I want to eat tonight. Okay, so here we go. This is I got something to add with the beginning of this. So this is 20. This will be. Wait. Was that 07? Yeah, this is 09. Okay, here we go. Yep, Taco Bell tonight, baby. And I got a Taco Bell gift card, so I'm not even paying for it. Let's go.
Oh my God.
I love that I put that on there. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 2809 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. So glad you are here because we are going to have some holiday fun to kick off the weekend, talking about Pam Forrester's great times down at Walt Disney World and getting you set for your trip to Walt Disney World if you're headed down this holiday season, making sure you make the most of those, the cookies and cocoa and holiday tunes, all that stuff, all the stuff that I love. It's the best time of the year down at Walt Disney World. So joining me today, we have the co-host of the Be Our Guest podcast and the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester. Pam, happy Friday. Big plans for the weekend. What are you guys doing?
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
I'm like, where am I? What's the date? What?
I know we record on Monday. It's a long way. A lot could happen.
Right. Sure. Yes. Big plans. Awesome plans. I'm sure.
Give you a heads up on that question. That was a tough one.
Yeah. Did you see me lock up? I was I
used to do that to my 6th graders all the time. What's 7 times 4? It's like, dude, just give me 3 times 3.
Right. I know. Yeah, it's that time of year where like I think all your plans get kicked into overdrive. I feel like there's like something every day now, in addition to the regular stuff that you do. So but it's good. It's a fun time of year. I love the holidays, love doing it. Our little town has this sort of Miracle on Main Street that happens on later on this week. So that's kind of cool. It's sort of like a combination, like giving, but supporting all the small businesses. And they do a parade, of course, and all this stuff. So it's fun stuff. And it's great that little towns still do stuff like this. So I like it. It's good. And Santa's in the parade, and then he goes to his little house, which happens to be in our little town. You may not know this, but Santa holds court here in our little town in his own little house, and he's been doing it since I was a kid. So
no way.
Yeah, absolutely. So
the big man is from Pennsylvania.
You didn't know, maybe, but yeah, he's here. I know. Well, maybe he sees people in other locations.
Just saying,
if he can deliver all over, the world, he can certainly manage to,
Sure. Yeah. Santa wears a Penguins jersey sometimes.
Yeah, he has to.
He swings a terrible towel. Didn't know that. Okay, so I didn't tell you this on Wednesday, but I wanted to tell you this on the show. I was just doing some perusing and did you know? Listen, did you know? And I'm excited because this involves our listeners, and I'm like super appreciative of this. Now, remember, we started our podcast in the year 2008, correct? 2008. We're coming up almost on 3,000 episodes because we didn't number them correctly. Like we're 28 with 2809 tonight, and we didn't number some of our live shows along the way and stuff like that. So we're getting close to 3,000 like episodes out there. We're pretty soon. I was looking on iTunes in the United States iTunes store in places in travel today. Just, in general. I mean, not Disney shows or anything like that. Like places in travel. We're ranked number 11. Like with Rick Steves and all those, ones that have backings of like NBC and CNN and, the Travel Channel. We're number 11. I'll take that. That's because our listeners support us after almost 19 years. So I just want to say a huge thank you to our listeners for all the ratings and the reviews. Because again, that's how you get kind of up in the ratings there. But because you guys go over there, give us 5-star reviews and say kind words on Apple Podcasts, but more importantly, keep downloading the shows. And that makes me feel good. That makes us want to keep doing the shows. And, for a podcast where we're doing this, we're not NBC, we're not the Travel Channel, we don't have a big cable company behind us. We love doing these podcasts, but I mean, that's humbling to be able to be up there in the Apple store because we're not a new show. We've been doing this forever, but it's humbling that people keep listening to us. So I just want to say thank you.
Agreed. It is completely humbling and at times a little amazing.
I was like, wow, we're pretty close to the top there.
I know, right? It is to see us up there with some other huge names in the not Disney travel industry, the travel industry. So, who knows? Maybe someday we'll get to, rub elbows with Rick Steves and he can talk about Europe and we can tell him how to do Disney World, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it is. And, I think all the credit really goes to our listeners and our community who have been with us for so long and just tell friends and family about our podcast. They, I think they just appreciate sort of the brand of maybe humor and sometimes lack of knowledge and sometimes the spin on what we do, the way that we give it. And I know I talked about this a little bit ago, but I think that the thing that we get told again and again that people like so much about our podcast is the positive spin that we have. And it is absolutely intentional, partly because of who we are and partly because what we want to do. And if we can put a little bit of magic and joy into the world, it's absolutely our goal to do that. And it's a privilege to get the opportunity to do that. So thank you all for being a part of this journey. It's awesome. And that was not like any kind of rehearsed Oscar speech or whatnot. It is truly from the bottom of our heart. So it's a cool thing. And we're really glad to be able to have the opportunity to do this.
It is so fun because, and we're going to talk about your trip here in like 2 seconds, but it is so funny because our listeners that have been with us for a long time and our listeners who've kind of joined us here more recently, it's super interesting because they know about our families. They know about Paige when she was younger and going through middle school, high school, and now she's the director of basketball operations up in Chicago. And Hannah, like you just mentioned, you were talking about her buying a house and putting a deck on her house on Wednesday. And I'm thinking about, man, I remember when Paige and Hannah, I was scared to death with turning them loose to the Magic Kingdom for 3 hours by themselves. And, just last night, Paige was, texting me, or she FaceTimed us. She was walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. She'd never been to New York City by herself because they got stranded up there at a basketball tournament. And she's walking across the Brooklyn Bridge and she's in Times Square. I've never been to New York City myself. So I'm like, so hold the thing still. I want to see Times Square. Like it is that, the World Trade Center, the One World Trade Tower, because it's super foggy. I'm like, it looks like you're in the movie Batman. I'm like, it's amazing. Like it looks like you're in Blue Bloods, but it's so wild that we've been doing this so long. It's great. 19 years, like in the spring, it's nuts. But I just appreciate everybody sticking with us and that we're up there high enough that it shows that people do listen to us all around the world. I'm like, I'm sitting here in my basement in Paige's old bedroom in a snowy Missouri. It just kills me. I'm not in some tower like these other people are in CNN headquarters. We're going to catch you. Got to kill them. We're up there with them. Like, I love it.
I'm sure that people are sort of like scared of that, right? They're sort of like, they're catching us.
That's why podcasting is the best. It's kind of like we can hang out of the snowy basement in Missouri. Anyway, let's talk about your trip down to Walt Disney World. Hey, the little guy can score one for the little guy because that's who we are.
For sure.
We talked about your Destiny cruise last week. So you did a lot of stuff at World. So give us some highlights though, because we got about 30 minutes. How was it?
I did. It was good. And it was at the very beginning of the holiday season there. So the all the decorations were not up at the resorts yet, but they were up at the parks, or at least mostly up at the parks. And so I was glad to sort of get in on the beginning of that. And actually, when I was there, I just, all I thought the whole time was, oh, I need to come back here before the holidays. And I'm going to. We came home and immediately made plans to do so. That's how much I like it. So anyways, but I also had the opportunity to sort of experience some of the new things that are at Walt Disney World. And that included, I don't want to get this wrong, Zoogather, the Zootopia thing at the Animal Kingdom. Is that the word for it? Zoogather?
That's correct. That's wrong. I don't know.
Zootopia Better Zoogather. Yes, it's called Zootopia Better Zoogather.
God, that's terrible.
Right.
That's why I don't get invited to all the media stuff. I get invited to some because that's not great.
Zootopia Better Zoogather.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
Yeah, and there's not even an acronym for it, really. Yes, Max, I'm very interested to say it. 10 times fast. No, I cannot.
Wait, say it again. Zootopia,
Better Zoogather.
Yeah, that just doesn't roll off.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Just sort of like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party or whatever.
That rolls way better. That rolls like the Crimson Tide.
So anyways, but I had the opportunity to see this. And of course, this is in the Tree of Life at the Animal Kingdom, and where It's Tough to Be a Bug used to be. And when I saw, I was looking forward to this because I love the Zootopia ride or the Zootopia movies. I think it's just a really, I think it's just a really sweet movie. It's a sweet story. I like Judy Hopps. I like Nick Fox. I like all of it. So I was really looking forward to seeing this. And Nick Wilde, not Nick Fox, Nick Wilde.
Yeah, I don't know. You got me, dude. I'm just
I know. You're just nodding along because you don't ever see the movies.
I've seen the commercials and I know the guy's Nick, but I was like, I don't think he's that. But
no, he's Nick Wilde.
Maybe it's his cousin. I don't know. Maybe he got ran over by a cab, because I know there's like a cab where the guy goes, no problem. It's like I'm like, I crack up at that commercial. Go ahead.
But the thing I loved this this attraction. I thought it was a great rebranding of it. I thought that it really just sort of incorporated what we really liked about the movies. But if you haven't seen the movies, you don't need to see, you don't need to know the movies to really enjoy this. They did a great job. They have a lot of the celebrity performers that are, sort of in the Zootopia world. And I liked it. It really does do like a 3D, 4D / show. And I thought it was I think it's like such a great use of space to be able to walk into underneath the Tree of Life. I've always sort of liked that idea. And this really sort of fit in with that. So I hope that people will enjoy it and like it as much as I do. They have the little tiger, I forget what his name is, the Clausen guy. I'm not as great with all the the names as I should, but
your kids buy a house and they're working on decks, you kind of forget the characters' names. When you're little, like you're more in tune to these guys.
Yes, exactly. But they have him, so do you remember in the old It's Tough to Be a Bug that Hopper would fly down?
Yes.
And that was kind of a cool part about that. But they do Benjamin Clawhauser, that's his name. Benjamin Clawhauser is the audio animatronic that is now taking over that spot. And he does a great job. And I think it used the theater well. It really uses the effects well. There's some cool things in it. I'm not going to give all the secrets away because I want y'all to go experience it yourself, but this is going to be a cute attraction. And the day that we were there, it was packed. Like the attraction was packed. And I think that always when they redo an attraction, I'm always so glad to see that they sort of reinvigorate that attraction. Like new people are seeing it, new people are doing it. And while this absolutely has a different overlay to it, I think it will be something that will be, that everyone will really sort of enjoy. So go see it if you haven't seen it. It's a really cool thing to do in Animal Kingdom. And I think in times of when the weather's not as good or whatnot, it's also a great way to sort of spend a little bit of time out of the weather. So
that is a good. It's like Spaceship Earth, right? People don't think that there's an attraction within the kind of the weenie there.
Right. Yes, exactly. But there is. And it's a great reminder too, to make sure you sort of look and do those little walking paths that are at the base of the Tree of Life, because those are really cool too. Some of them have animals on them. Some of them are just sort of a walking path to sort of get up closer to it. But there's lots of carved animals in that tree, and being able to see that is a really cool thing too. And the other thing about the Animal Kingdom is at the holidays, they have those awesome polar bears sort of wandering around there in the Tree of Life, the big puppets.
I'll say breaking news, not real polar bears. These are marionettes.
This isn't a lost situation.
You gotta be clear about that. Pam.
Yes, you do. Right. The polar bears, and they have some flying birds too. That's sort of this whole puppet kind of thing. And I really love them. I think that so sort of fits in with the sort of holiday theming. But the other thing is that the Animal Kingdom, I think has some of the most subtle and yet the most interesting holiday decor of any of the 4 parks. It's something that's like not in your face, right? But it really fits within the theme. I will say the most themed maybe for that. We all love Hollywood Studios, and I'll talk about that in a little bit because it all has sort of a retro feel.
Yeah,
but
spaghetti poodles.
Yes, spaghetti poodles.
I've never seen those marionette puppet things. Now, let me ask you about this. And I haven't watched the videos because I have intentions to see them and I don't want to spoil myself, but do they have like music playing around them, or what's the vibe? Because they look like, because I've seen pictures, obviously, because Ricky posts vlogs and stuff, but like, what's the interaction like? I mean, it can't be silent. What's the with these experiences?
So there's sort of musicians usually that are there, like some live musicians sort of that are there doing it. But the real cool thing about it is it's sort of an opportunity to interact with these. And there are more than just polar bears. Like sometimes they call it like the Merry Menagerie or something like this, right?
Like a little giraffe or something. Or
yes, there's penguins, there's reindeer. I don't know about giraffes, but there's foxes.
Yeah. Maybe I was just having a bad taco or something.
Maybe you just remember the giraffe from other parts.
I don't know. Exactly. It was a bad burrito.
This is going to turn into like a George C. Scott Christmas story, something or other. But anyway, but I think that's the part that's really cool, is that you do have the ability, like we saw, there were a few kids who were just enthralled by these like puppets, right? And they were up like petting the polar bear, because the polar bear is pretty big. Like, I don't know if he's life size, but he's large.
I'm sure. I mean, it would, otherwise it's false advertising. Yeah.
Right. Yes, people will see real polar bears and be like, what? No, but they were, I mean, the kids like loved them, but then adults too. And there's sort of a photo opportunity and people get to do that. So it's really sort of a merry kind of thing. So yes, it wasn't just, they roll out these puppets or whatnot. So that was pretty cool.
That makes me happy. Okay.
Yes. It did.
Animal Kingdom check. Yeah.
Animal Kingdom. And make sure you look at the subtle but very themed Christmas decor, because I think it's definitely worth it in that. And I'm sort of kind of looking through some of my photos. By the way, like literally to be even a merchandiser there, which like as you walk into the shop, they set up this like central display that is all themed to whatever holiday or here we go, like candy canes that we happen to be celebrating. Like it is really, that must be one of the most fun jobs for sure, because even the things within the shops are worth seeing and photographing and all of that. And then of course I want to talk about the Magic Kingdom, because the Magic Kingdom is always, I feel like, sort of one of the central locations for all the holiday things, of course. But when you step onto Main Street, I think, and you see the soldiers, the tree, the wreaths going down Main Street, the castle, it looks so good. It could not look more like a postcard perfect kind of thing. I love everything about the decorations there. I have a hard time thinking about what's my favorite. But that tree, just the fact that tree is so huge and so there and just sort of has these sort of classic sort of ornaments on it. I really enjoy that. I think it's worth going up always to the train station and just looking down Main Street that way, because that's such a cool view. But I don't know, what do you love the most about those decorations at the Magic Kingdom?
I think what it is for the Magic Kingdom for me is that inevitably on Christmas morning, our tradition is we get up. Now it's later. I'll give you that, as the kids have gotten older, which that's a blessing. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because right. I'm very traditional. Like that's one of the things that, as you've listened to the show since 2008, as we've grown older together as a podcast family, which is kind of cool. The kids get up super early as they're younger and so forth. And, you see what Santa left under the Christmas tree, and we still do that. Yeah. But it's gotten later and later as the kids have gotten older, but we still do that. But what we do now is, I'll be honest, as we all gather around the Christmas tree on Christmas morning, our tradition is that we have this is different for everybody, I'm sure, but we have the SEC channel on, which is it's the SEC Yule log on Christmas morning, which is it shows like the Yule log, right? But what it does is it scrolls through all 16 schools' fight songs, and it'll show like paraphernalia from all 16 schools. So it'll show the Mizzou, I don't know, football helmet, this stuff. It'll show Kentucky and Alabama and Auburn and Arkansas, so forth. It's kind of what we do. But then once that it kind of rolls, it does its thing, but it burns out by like 9:30. And then at that time, that's when the special comes on from Walt Disney World, like the parade. So I think a lot of our audience, we all watch the Walt Disney World parade, right? That comes on, and that's kind of what we're watching. Is the Pam? We're done usually opening the presents to each other and seeing what Santa left, and then my dad comes over from his house, and we exchange presents with my dad and so forth. But that's when the Walt Disney World parade comes on ABC. Yeah. But I think that the thing is, for our Walt Disney World vacations, the Magic Kingdom is special to us, log answer, because that's where, if you're down there during the holiday season, you get to make that connection with your trip to what you're going to see on Christmas morning, right? You see, oh, that's the Christmas tree that we saw back in December on our trip, and those are the dancing soldiers that played the trumpets, or the drummers and so forth. And that's the castle, and that's the guard. Like if you were lucky enough to get to go during holiday season, you get to make that special connection that's where we were in the Magic Kingdom this year, and we get to see that's kind of the special thing. If you got to take a holiday trip, you get to make that special connection on Christmas morning that we were there.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing.
Agreed. I think it's like, so you always sort of, as the park with like that sort of the icon of Walt Disney World, right? The Magic Kingdom, you see the castle, you know exactly where that's going. Mm-hmm. I think that's what so many of us make a memory of, and we may have photos of our family in front of that or whatnot. Again, another plug to always get PhotoPass. It is worth it. It is the add-on we recommend the most. It's the cheapest, one of the cheapest add-ons you can do to your Disney vacation, and it's certainly worth it. Just having those photos, I think, are so precious, in the magic shots and whatnot. And also, when you're there, don't forget to see the Jingle Jungle Cruise, because that is part of what's available for that time of year. There are also special shows and whatnot, but the other one not to miss is the Frozen Holiday Surprise, because that's when they sort of illuminate the castle, and it's definitely worth seeing. So some great things there at the Magic Kingdom for sure. And then one of the other things that we did, of course, was Epcot. That was, I think Epcot, again, sort of helps us think about, bringing the whole world together. When you do the nighttime show, I always remember the illuminations with the tag on and things like that. But right? Yes, agreed.
Every year, let there be peace on earth.
I know. Let it begin
with me. We actually sang that. My class we sang that like right before. And then, again, how old am I? This is something, like, I don't know if kids do this in school anymore, but we did. Like, my class would sing this before we left for Christmas break, like in front of the whole school, like the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders.
Yeah. And it's just sort of, I always think of that each time I'm in Epcot over the holidays. And not that there's not other things going on for the holidays, but that is always something I remember, because I think it sort of did a great job of reminding us all what the holidays are sort of about. So loved that. And of course, you also have the Epcot International Festival of Holidays, which has the different holiday traditions at each one of the countries. It has, of course, a festival with booths, Mike, food booths. There's no holiday festival at Epcot that goes by without food booths. So
exactly. Scott posted, because he went, as he came home, I wasn't sure if he was going to make it home. Like, I knew he had his Epic Fantasy Cruise, which we're going to talk about here in the next couple of weeks. I was like, is he going to make it back for the live call-in show? And I wasn't positive. So I was kind of watching him find my friends. Nope, his little car would pass right past MCO, back to Epcot, which is a good call. But he's paying the price today. That's why he's not on the show with us. he got home at like 1 a.m. and he's dragging. So I totally feel him.
Yeah.
But he mentioned that, take advantage of your time. He went to Epcot and kind of squeezed in those last few hours of vacation. So he went to Epcot Festival of Holidays, but he posted a picture he went back to the America, and for Festival of Holidays, he had like a little Thanksgiving kind of meal. We're past it, but man, that looked like he's like $7, but like turkey and stuffing. I mean, it was good looking. So, again, you go around and sample all the offerings during Festival of the Holidays.
Yeah.
Like, you got the cookie stroll going on and all that good stuff. Oh, good stuff.
I know, so much to see and do. And reports have it that you can see Santa Claus at Communicore Hall. So that's awesome. You get a photo there.
Apparently Pennsylvania.
And Pennsylvania. And the other, yes, at his house. This is where he summers in Florida, or off season in Florida, or off hours perhaps. whatever.
You want to see him in a Penguins jersey?
That's right. But you can also see Santa Goofy at the Odyssey, right?
Nice.
Who doesn't love Santa Goofy? And of course, they do the holiday storytellers. So you'll be able to see a number of those. And Joyful, they have the gospel choir there that performs, and they are fantastic every year that they're there. So love hearing them. The other thing, of course, is your favorite and mine, the candlelight processional. Professional.
They took it up a notch this year.
It's more professional than ever before.
Like, wait, you're breaking news.
Right. I know. They have such great narrators there. So we love seeing that. It, of course, is the retelling of the Christmas story. And another thing, so when we go down, I think it's next week, we are going to be doing the greenhouse tour, the behind the seeds tour. It gets an overlay for the holidays, and I'm really looking forward to that too. So can't wait to see that
greenhouse. So let me ask you a little hot take on this. Maybe it's not even a hot take. It's because Christmas. It's a cool take. But is that kind of one of the most underrated cool things Walt Disney World does during holiday season? Because it is so, like, the glittering greenhouses, like, it's beautiful. They take.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's kind of a joke, but it's not. Living with the Land is one of the best experiences at Walt Disney World. Definitely Epcot.
Yes.
It leans into what Epcot used to be in the 80s and 90s. But
correct.
Man, when they put those lights in there during the holiday season.
Right. A snowman made of sand, my friend. A snowman made of sand. No, I mean, there's just so much to love about the glimmering greenhouse.
And everybody calls it something different. That's probably what it is actually called. I call it the glittering or glowing.
Whatever.
It has all kinds of names. It's kind of like, my grandpa, he would call everything by a different name every single
right.
time.
Yes. It's fine. That's
my friends. He would rename my friends.
But they put decor in there. They do so many fun things. And while we will claim that the Living with the Land is arguably the best attraction at Epcot, there's not really much argument you're going to get from me on this. It is the best attraction at Epcot. And then they just do the glimmering greenhouse. And then you take that and do the behind the scenes tour and get to combine that again. So behind the scenes tour is probably one of the most underrated, right, tours in all of Walt Disney World. Then you combine that with the fact that it has a holiday overlay, and I think you've just got a slam dunk there in terms of winning. So lots and lots of good stuff going on for sure at Epcot. It's probably one of my favorite parks for the holidays, just because I think it does what Epcot does so well and sort of shows us new and interesting things that are going on at each of the countries for the holidays. And I think that really sort of gives us a glimpse into something that we may not see at other times of the year. So I love that.
And again, too, one of the things that kind of slides under the radar that they have enhanced the last 3 years, Spaceship Earth with those lights and the music package.
Oh yeah,
so good.
I
mean, because the thing is, during the holidays they can add a holiday score and change that lighting package, and bam, you have a whole nother show.
Yeah, it is, and worth seeing, and included with the price of admission, folks. I mean, don't miss it, or it's like you're not getting your full value out of the day.
Yeah, don't miss it. Don't sneak out that International Gateway without seeing that night show. What do you
right do? You're gonna have to walk up to the front and see it because it's worth it.
I mean, yeah, make sure you wear your Skechers. Shoes, people, comfortable shoes.
That's so funny. Yes. And then I want to talk lastly, but certainly not leastly, about Disney's Hollywood Studios, because hello. Does this park have the best holiday decor of all the parks?
It does. I was going to ask you, like, which park, it's hard to say, like, which park is the best during the holidays, but this is definitely the most beautiful park.
It is. And I think it is because it really marries a retro vibe that so many of us saw at a relative's house or at our house.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right? I mean, so many things there, like, because like spaghetti poodles. I didn't even know that I even knew what those were. Like, I had to look them up, but my great grandma and grandpa had those sitting on top of the old console TV stereo that was all one unit in their house and over at Alton, Illinois. Totally
yeah. It's so good. It just really is. And then they have, the little girls holding the candy canes, and it's just the decor there just sort of hits someplace in my brain that I love it. It marries, first of all, it has great neon, once the lights come on regularly. And then during the holidays, it's even better. I am a sucker for that Sunset Seasons greetings that shows on the Tower of Terror. Like, how do they make that look like something that doesn't even look like? It looks like a gingerbread house.
That projector mapping that they do on the Castle and on Tower of Terror. Like, ridiculous. I've probably told this story 100 times on this show, but I got to tell it 101. The first time they did that on the Castle, and they did that scene where it looked like a rocket shooting off. I was like, holy crap, the castle's coming off the ground. I'm with the Pam. I was like, oh my God, the castle's coming off the ground. Like, I for real thought it was moving. I'm kind of gullible. I get that I'm kind of gullible. But it's like they turn that thing into a rocket, and it's like, oh my God, it's coming 5 feet off the ground. Like, I got. Yeah, it's unreal.
And it does. I will just stand there and watch it for quite a while, actually. Probably more than I should, because I've seen it more than once. But if you haven't seen it, there's like 4, I believe, different little movies that sort of play on the Tower of Terror that each of them has a different theme. It's awesome. It is definitely worth seeing. The other thing I did when we were there was we did Jollywood Nights. So that is a fun event. We had a great time doing it. So first of all, they turned the area in front of the theater into an ice skating rink. And they had like a show, like it was like Disney on Ice, like right there in front of the theater. So
for my generation, the Ice-capades.
The Ice-capades.
My grandma used to the Ice-capades at the old arena.
The Ice-capades. Yes. But then, of course, like they do on other nights too, they have the big tree there and you get those gorgeous pictures where the tree is sort of reflecting into that pond.
The ornaments out there. Oh, perfect.
Right. It's so good. So good. They did a dance party, of course, because there's, every celebration has a dance party, and Jollywood is no exception. They had the Pixar pals out there, Edna Mode, busting a move out there. But again, the fun thing about this was a really sort of close up opportunity to see some of these Pixar characters. Like Frozone was there, but like it's not like they're up on stage. They're mixing around with guests, dancing with guests, doing all that. So I thought that's kind of a neat perspective on that. I'm so glad that they do that. The kids were loving it. They were getting pictures, but also dancing with them. And I always think like, that's a real memory. Like you sort of remember that as a kid, like remember that time I danced with Edna Mode on that. So I really liked seeing that. They also have that Nightmare Before Christmas show that takes place at the theater where they do Frozen. And the other time I had done Jollywood, I did not see this because I will just tell you, the line was intimidating. And I was like, there's no way I'm standing in line for that show. Right. But this time I actually waited, and this is probably what happened the other time, but I didn't go back and check. If you aren't going to like the first 1 or 2 shows, then the line sort of dies down. Well, duh. I know.
All the influencers have gone through and got the content.
Right, exactly. exactly. I guess so. But they have a fantastic it is really a very cute show, and the Jack Skellington character is impressive. So I will say, if you haven't had an opportunity to see it, maybe you were dumb like I was. It is worth it to go and see that show because it's very impressive. And of course, like all the other festivals and all the other celebrations, they have food that is only available during Jollywood nights. And look at it, because they include like turkey popovers and like the sides popovers. So they have a turkey popover that is basically turkey and gravy and whatnot in this popover. But then they have one that is all the sides, like macaroni and cheese and greens and stuff like that. So I really appreciated that. It's actually a different kind of food. I realized that Jollywood is actually an add-on. It's a ticketed event. You have to have a ticket to go in and see it, and may not be what you may not be like what you wanted to spend money on. And I get that. But if you're looking for an add-on and you really want to sort of embrace that holiday spirit, I think Jollywood is really something that I want to recommend. I love Mickey's Very Merry. So if you asked me to choose between the two, I don't know that I could, but I see them both for what they are.
Okay, a couple questions on that. Okay, because I'm just curious about this. I've seen more, just watching social media and posting things like this, I've seen more people taking kids to this event this year than, because I think last year and the previous years, at least, it's been at least marketed as an adult event. Not that it was an adult exclusive event, but it was an adult oriented event. But I have seen people taking their kids to this event. So what would you say, like, what's the advice for folks thinking about taking kids to Jollywood? Is it a good idea? What do you say to that?
So I do think it probably is geared a little bit more toward adults, but I will also say that there is so much there for kids to do. First of all, the Muppets have a show at the Theater of the Stars, which is the Beauty and the Beast one. So I think that that's really cool. There are some characters here that you just don't see at other times. Like Phineas and Ferb were there. Max from Goofy's Max, Powerline, Max, all of that. That was there. The thing that makes it probably more adult is the fact that there's a lot of folks that really get dressed up for this. Like
kind of like that whole like flappers kind of.
Yes. Like Disney bounding, all kinds of holiday things. There were people like dressed up in really like glittery dresses and whatnot. So that was something that I thought was really cool. And that was, not everyone is that. We were not. We had on like a holiday t-shirt or something like that. But, I went there to like go and see and do it all. So I was wearing tennis shoes and jeans and a holiday t-shirt. So, and we fit in. There were tons of people that were dressed just like us. But the other thing is, during this, there's also a fireworks show, which is Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam.
Oh
so that's a good fireworks show, right? And it takes the characters from Prep and Landing and of course other Disney things to show that. But I thought that was, that's a really cool fireworks show. So it's hard to say what, to not take kids to that. But if you're a party of only adults, then you may want to consider Jollywood, because I do feel like this is geared a little more towards adults. But
I was thinking that too. I mean, yeah. And that kind of lends to my second question is, I would say that Jollywood, even more than Mickey's Very Merry, is an event where if you're really trying to get your bang for your buck, because you're paying a premium for this experience, you are probably going to want to lean more into the event exclusive things going on rather than trying to squeeze out a Smuggler's Run experience or a Slinky Dog, because again, I'm sure that the attraction wait times are super short during this event.
They were,
which is going to be, it's kind of a catch-22, because it's going to be tempting to draw you away from that, but you're paying for these exclusive events. You'll go see the Muppets, go see the Jack Skellington, the Nightmare Before Christmas show. I mean, would you what's your best advice for good time usage to get your value out of the ticket?
I would not look at it as a ride opportunity, or at least we did not, because I wanted to do all of the things and we didn't even we didn't wait in line for characters, and there were tons of character opportunities, just really so many. And I liked seeing them. Like there was Chewbacca, there was
Oh yeah,
party.
he had that Life Day opportunity, right, with the
Yeah.
red thing. See, I don't know. I'm a Star Wars guy, but I'm not so deep into it that I understood all. I guess that's his birthday or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, or well, yeah, it's like a festival there on his planet. There was the Partysaurus Rex in Toy Story Land, Bing Bong from Inside Out, Miguel from Coco, the Mandalorian and Grogu, Lotso, the Three Caballeros, Baloo and King Louie from Tailspin.
See, this is a great idea, because the thing is, like, you don't have to like be an obsessive person about all those characters, but what that's going to do is going to draw people that are into that area. So it spreads everybody out, because if you have three, I mean, if you have 10 different character meet and greets, it just takes the crowds down to all of them. Like, I love it. Let's do this, because that gives everybody an opportunity to go around and get more character meet and greets during the party.
Yeah, there was. But then there were things that were, I think, like decidedly adult. Like there is, jazz Christmas tunes being played at the Brown Derby. There is the Tip Top Club, or that is taking place in the courtyard area of the Hollywood Tower of Terror. There was just, I mean, there was a lot of live entertainment, which I thought was, really good to have too. And they actually have made a little character specifically for Jollywood, and they call that little gingerbread guy Ollie.
Yeah, I remember him last year. Yep.
So you can get merchandise that is exclusive to the event, and it features Ollie. Ollie the Jolly Gingerbread. That's his full name, right?
Smooth marketing person.
I know, that's a lot easier to say than some of the other things.
That person needs to talk to the Zootopia namer.
Right. Together. But it's worth checking out. And Jollywood is typically from the first week in November to about the week before Christmas happens. They don't have it going on during Christmas. Probably this year it ends, like I think the last one is December 22nd. And we just found it a fun event. We really enjoy it. There's something again about the after hours events, I think, that really, they just feel special. There's lots of things that you can only do and see and eat during those events. So it's worth checking out for sure.
And we're going to wrap. But the thing I like about Jollywood is that, from kind of a layman's point of view, and again, not having gone, because again, I have this thing, right? With running Dopey, it's really hard to get down for the holidays because I go right after and spend a week running all the races and all that expense. But is that over the 3 years or so that they've had Jollywood, I think that they've really kind of listened to the feedback of this party. And at first it was kind of like, oh my gosh, this didn't get great feedback the first night, and that they immediately addressed the feedback like to the second weekend, real quick. They threw that in, and then they learned like from year 1 to year 2 and really improved it there. And every year this event is evolving, with they're adding a lot to it. They're modifying it with the new properties that are hot, and they're adding to it a lot. So this one, more than any event, I think, has really grown and become popular, and I think they're really trying to make this thing become, maybe on the level of a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, like part 2. Do you think that?
Yeah.
They're really trying to make this thing grow.
I do. And, I actually went to the very first Jollywood event that they offered, year 1, night 1. And I was like, I'm not sure about this. You know what I mean? But like you said, they absolutely took feedback from that first night. And within a week or so, they addressed so many of the concerns. When we went, you had to sort of go to this location to get your wristband. We were waiting in line, then waiting in line, then waiting in line. They had that all sort of worked out this time. And like the other events, they had a time that those with tickets could come in, and they really did a good sweep of the park at that point. And I think that's something that they had sort of more nailed down too. They were looking for wristbands throughout. It's always weird to me whenever I go to one of these after hours events that they're looking for your wristbands. Like they really want to see them. They're much more, I don't want to say aggressive because that's the wrong word, but they're much more vigilant about, seeing the wristbands. And they always have been for like before you got in an attraction, but they're doing it before you go into any restaurant, before you order from anywhere, before you walk into certain areas, they're looking for it. And don't you always wonder, are there people who try to stay in the parks?
I think it's just the society we live in today that it's, you see social media and it's like it's a hack, right?
Yes.
Here's 7 ways to try to get into Jollywood without paying. Here's ways you can stay at the party for 90 minutes without paying. It's
the weirdest thing.
Yeah, because you're not having an enjoyable experience because you're not going to get on anything. You're not going to get to do much. And
you're not going to get to eat the food, see the shows, do any of those things.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of cheating the system. You get what you pay for kind of thing. And that's how the thing works. It's an exchange for its goods and exchange system. Right. But Preacher Tony's over on Instagram. He said, we did both Christmas parties the week of the 17th, Jollywood Nights and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And both were great, different, but we enjoyed both. And I think that's kind of the ultimate, right? Is that you're going to have 2 different experiences. And I think that's good. Both fun parties and different experiences. You don't want to have 2 same things.
Right, for sure. And they are very different experiences. I think that's what we found too. We really did enjoy them both. I couldn't choose between the 2 of them. Honestly, I couldn't. They're both such different experiences. And Jollywood's maybe is a little more show intense and whatnot. But again, I just find them both like great opportunities if you're looking to do something festive for sure.
All right. Well, that got me I don't drink eggnog, but I can go get some Christmas cookies now. I think it's the weekend. I'm going on a cruise tomorrow. I got to get ready to have all the desserts.
Yes,
tomorrow night I'll be in Fort Lauderdale, getting ready to get on the Disney Destiny. And my goal before I get on the ship is to see a palm tree with Christmas lights.
I think you'll be able to see that.
Let's go. So real quick, one tip for the Destiny. Give me one before we get out. What do you got? You're just on it.
I think that I'd want to see that show at the end of the cruise, at the nighttime show at the end of the cruise, like the Kiss Goodnight sort of thing, or they call it something different.
I call it the mad dash, where you meet the characters at the very end. Like where you get
but just watch from up above. You don't have to meet all the characters.
Be in it. Sound like kind of okay, so you just watch the madness happen. Okay.
Yes, you do. And interact with those 2 people who are like your guides throughout the cruise when you have the opportunity to do so.
Some verb. I always forget their names. I'll learn.
You will learn them though, for sure. Yeah, do that. Do those 2 things.
I'm excited to show Pam because she's never seen like the Haunted Mansion bar or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
This would be cool.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, we'll do this again soon. So thanks, Pam. Thanks for sharing all the holiday magic.
Happy to. Yeah.
All right. Well, don't forget, lots of time still to get down there this season to get to see the big man and all the helpers. They like to vacation down south, I've heard, and they like to run into you. So come on, we'll help you out. Swing by the magicforless.com. We can help you get down there. Or hey, if you can't make it this holiday season, it's a great time to put a vacation under that tree for Christmas morning. We can do that as well. So just swing by the magicforless.com. We'll help you plan a great Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Again, check out all the details today over at the magicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the all-stars that keep us on the air, and I cannot thank you enough for that. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give me a follow on the social media. Again, I'm going to be on the Disney Destiny this next week. So follow me. I'm going to be posting live from the ships, videos, pictures, and I'll be going live actually from the Destiny while we're out at sea. So follow me at Be Our Guest Mike on Instagram. That's where I'll be doing all the posting. Also on x.com and Threads. Also on Facebook, on our Facebook page at Be Our Guest Podcast. Give us a like over there because I'll be going live from there as well. Pam is at TMFLT Pam and all those places as well. So give her a follow there. And let's see what else. No live show this time, but join us in the clubhouse, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. Your invitation is waiting. That's our Discord server. We have a great time hanging out there all the time as well. All right. So we get back together again on Monday. I wish you guys a great weekend. Catch me on the Disney Destiny live over the weekend. And next week, we're going to be having a great time. But until then, you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom. Good stuff.
Yes. So I know looking through my photos and talking is really hard, actually.
That was a good show. That was good stuff. That was good.
All right, good. I hope
I'm
so.
gonna go get a Uncrustable and edit these two, and then
all right, cool.
Do a show at 4:30.
All right, awesome.
Gift card.
Okay.
Thanks. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Okay. All right, sounds good. Bye.